Well, good morning, everybody. Actually, we're being recorded. Yeah, okay. So we have a couple of guests today. First one is Sandra Lopez, who's the Chief Administrative Officer with Orange County Realtors. And this is a surprise guest for me. Let's welcome Sandra. Thank you for a number of years. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
What are you going to share with us today?
Thank you. I work at the association, as many of you know. What I do is a little bit of everything. So the title really doesn't mean anything. That means I get the job done, basically. So whatever you need, just make sure you call me, okay? I work at Laguna Hills and at Fountain Valley. I'm privileged to go to both. I work out of both. So what we're going to do today is discuss a little bit about your continuing education. We at the association try to bring you guys support. We got a tech support, we love it. We got Anthony, which we love, but now we have your education support. For example, when you're going to renew your license, it's a process. Getting the DRE to cooperate with us, it is a process. So we have Cassie Cardenas at the office, who's been there like for 100 years. She's our real estate licensing director or manager or something like that. However, she gets the job done. So this is her flyer. On the back is our phone number for the tech line, for the OC Fast Stats, and for her. She takes appointments. So basically, she will sit with you for an hour, get your continuing education, tells you what you need to do, help you submit it also in the DRE. So she'll walk you through the whole process. I brought notepads, and in case you want a magnet here for you. Other than that, we have our annual membership coming up. We have Gov. We all know who Gov is. We just love Gov. He brings us real estate laws and updates. We're going to be holding our annual membership. Please make sure you sign up. I know President Ed's going to speak a little bit more about that, so I'm not going to touch on that subject. I don't want to kind of duplicate the information. But basically, I'm here to ask you if you need anything, please send it to me. I'm happy to help you all. Okay.
I do have a question. So in regards to the continuing education.
Yes.
She'll guide you, but then do you have to enroll in your own course material? Or is it something that?
No, she'll help you with that as well. She will. The question is, how far in the process will she help you? We have schools that we partner up with, and she'll tell you, we got the CR who's free, or Gov, or da-da-da-da-da. We have some out there, and she'll tell you, this one does this one does that. I don't like this one because of. So she'll kind of point you to the right direction. She'll tell you what courses you need and what courses you, that are not required, but she'll guide you through the whole process from A to Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, when renewing your license, you can take the course material well in advance, but you can't apply for the renewal for your license no sooner than 90 days in advance of the expiration date of your license.
That is correct. Yes. Yeah. We typically tend to like wait till the last minute. So that's what we're telling you. Just call her, tell her what you need. Even if your license runs for 3 years, just call her, tell her, because honestly, CR has 45 hours of free continuing education.
Oh, so you can get it for free.
Yeah. Yeah. CR has those for free. But they're time consuming because you got to take one course, then you got to take another course, and she walks you through the whole process. And we say, we pay so much money. Where's our dues go to? Things like that. Education for a renewal license. And I want to let you know that the board of director applications are open up in case anyone is interested.
I'm doing it now.
I'm just trying to.
Anyone else interested? Please sign up.
Sign up.
Soliciting.
Yes. But other than that, thank you for your time. It was great seeing you. We're behind the scene, the video Zoom so much. So I'm just trying to make my rounds to make sure we're still here. I'm still here.
Well, thank you, Sandra.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate
thank
that.
You. Thank you.
So our Orange County Realtors president was scheduled to be here today. It's probably
running just probably a couple of minutes behind. So,
okay. So would you like to begin, Tony?
I can do that.
All right.
Awesome. And I see the cameras pointed at Sandra. So hold on.
Well,
We'll just...
Good choice.
There we go.
So our guest speaker, Tony, you may have met him before. We're going to talk about digital door knocking. So in this engaging discussion, I'm setting you up, Tony, to learn how to seamlessly blend traditional and modern marketing techniques. We'll start by exploring time-tested methods such as door knocking and mail marketing demonstrating how these personal touches can build trust. We'll then delve into the social media marketing, discovering strategies to leverage platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to reach a broader audience. So this is a 2-hour course that's going to be done in 45 minutes to an hour, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna give you all 3 parts
Okay.
because what we've done is because I come out here each and every month, I've split it up into 3 parts for you. That's a lot
Oh, I see.
easier
Okay.
digestion, but we are going to basically go through a progression, traditional to digital. So today is all going to be about your focus. I'm just going to share my screen here super quickly. And
Let me enter the co-host here.
yeah, thank you. Hopefully, excellent. All right. So as we go through fun stuff, gotta move things around just because that's the way everything seems to work out. Today we're talking about digital door knocking. I love this fun class that I made recently for everybody. For those of you who don't know who I am,
Would you like me to explain that to me?
there you go.
All right.
My
He is
name's
a-
Anthony. I work at Orange County Realtors. Been there now over 22 years. Richard has me out here each and every month to go over all your tools and products. I'll be training on zip forms, MLS, and of course, technology. How many of you are doing your marketing using the AI from our last class? Not a single person has raised their hand. Excellent. And you were so excited the last time. So today, yes, we got a full list of agenda items that we could do, but this is typically a 2.5 hour to 3 hour class. We're breaking it up into simple 3 easy parts. Today, we're going to focus on traditional marketing techniques, specifically door knocking, mail marketing. We'll talk about some digital marketing integration that you can use with these tools, but we're going to have a little fun. Okay. I've given everybody here a physical script that we're going to go over in our door knocking class portion of today. So we gotta love that. So when we think about this, traditional marketing techniques. I love the fact that we have newsletters. Anybody doing newsletters marketing? Not a single one person. Excellent. That's why you got all those open houses, right? We've got the flyers, the door hangers. By the way, did you know Orange County Realtors gives you free door hangers that you can use?
No.
Oh. So I think it's twice a year, Sandra. Twice a year, Orange County produces about 10,000 different little door hangers, twice a year for you all to use. All you gotta do is just place your business card to it and then hang it on someone's door. I think last year was all about, because of the summer time, talking about the pool safety, be aware, right? Just something for you, right? And of course, we've got door knocking. How many of you actually have done door knocking? 2 people. Excellent. How many of you still do door knocking? 2 people. Excellent. Now, those of you online, I guess, let's think about this. If you're not marketing, you're not door knocking, you're not mail marketing, what are you doing? Right? 1,001 ways, right? Carlos may scream out in the middle of class, I'm too old to door knock. That's okay. But at the end of the day, when Carlos goes, I'm not making any money. Why not? What are you doing? I'm doing stuff, right? How many of you said I'm doing a bunch of stuff and still no return on your investment, right? We got to start thinking about that. By the way, door knocking is not, I knock one time the hottest day of the year, right? By the 3rd door, you kind of look like this. You're a little disheveled, you're sweaty, you're drenched, right? Anybody ever feel that way? Right?
Yeah.
But you still do it no matter what. Do you do it all year round?
Yeah.
Right? Rain, sleet, snow. We're like post office people, right? So, first thing before we do any marketing, even traditional, digital, whatever, we got to first pick a neighborhood, right? When we think about this, we've got all these fun little tools, right? We got to do some neighborhood research. Well, guess what? You being a real estate agent with Orange County Realtors and CRMLS, you have a plethora of tools to help you with your research. From MLS data, right? Doing CMAs to InfoSparks to RPR to Rebo Gateway, which is a CAR tool. to do your neighborhood research. By the way, if you've never heard of Rebo Gateway, anybody remember Remine? Remine was a very interesting tool to be able to apply certain filters to, like, show me the people who have owned their homes for 20 or more years. Show me the people that are paying less than 3% in their mortgage rates, or people that are in distress, right? Rebo Gateway takes it to another level. By $50 a month, you can look at things like people who are newly married, people who are newly divorced or getting a divorce, death, birth, whatever. There's a lot of great tools to allow you to do this neighborhood research for your stats, because we need to become the neighborhood expert. By the way, if you ever use Rebo Gateway and you're looking up divorcees, please use some tech. Okay? Now, Richard laughs, but I'm sure he's heard the story many a times because of Rebo Gateway. And this happened a few years ago where an agent used Rebo Gateway to find divorcees. Found a few names, went door knocking. First door he knocked, young lady answers the door. First thing out of the agent's mouth was, I hear that you're going through a divorce and you probably are going to need to sell your home. Now, unfortunately, the wife was not told by her husband yet that he had filed for divorce.
This sounds like a dating app.
It sounds like a dating app, right? So be very, very careful. Use some decorum in answering, in using your marketing, okay? If somebody's going through a divorce, we probably want to use some decorum and not just say things because they may or may not know about the situation, okay? Yes, it was recorded on public record because the husband was well into filing, but the wife and he had not officially separated. He had not told his wife. Needless to say, it was a very uncomfortable conversation, and the agent did not get the listing. So be very, very careful about these things, right? By the way, you've got other fun tools or other things that we look at, like the demographics, renters versus owners, ownership time, absentee versus owner occupied. Look at all these stats. RPR's got stuff like this for us. Now, why would this be important for anybody to know? The renters versus owners. Anybody?
Listing for selling.
Exactly. Listings versus people who may want to buy eventually, right? If we think about that, like as an example, in Irvine, did you all know that in Irvine, in general, you have a 36% rental rate versus ownership rate in Irvine? So what does that mean? It means that in a neighborhood of 100 homes and you're sending your general marketing of, hey, why don't you sell your home? That means that 36 to almost 37% of your flyers end up in the garbage immediately because it doesn't apply. The idea of being able to know the differences between those types of clients is that we want to make our marketing dollars more efficient, and we actually want to target that audience with the specific needs that they need or want. Like talking to a renter, you might want to emphasize what?
Well, I try to not only
Interest
to
rate.
rent, but to sell.
Interest rates. What's the benefits of purchasing versus renting? What are the new changes in the laws for renters and tenants versus housing providers? Just like absentee versus owner occupied, the absentee are typically what? Your investors. You might all of a sudden have marketing campaigns to those investors. So if you notice that maybe in that neighborhood, there are at least 15 absentee owner occupied properties or absentee owners, you're going to all of a sudden maybe put out marketing. Are you tired of the rental game and you want to sell your investments because of the new changes in laws that protect tenants even more so? Or, you know what, maybe you're of a certain age and you just want to capitalize on just the income you have because you might not have any heirs. Take advantage of your wealth now. Enjoy your life. Right? Those are really good things to talk about. Reason why we do all this, right? Listing turnover ratio, median sales price, days on market. We are the neighborhood experts. This is why you pay your dues for what you do. You know everything. You have access to the most accurate information at all times. We need to be that neighborhood expert. In a day and age where everybody has access to the internet, do you feel that your clients like to think that they know it better than you? Yet they go into those public websites like a realtor.com or a Zillow or something like that, and they look at the estimation. And the estimation, as we all might know, is off by between 10 to 20%. That's a 20 to 40% gap in a potential price. So if your home's estimated to be worth $1 million plus or minus 20%, that's a $400,000 gap in your largest ever owned asset. Does anybody ever want to play with $400,000? Yeah, no, right? You want to take advantage of that. That's why they need to listen to you, the experts, right? All right. So are there benefits of door knocking? Because a lot of people go, there's no benefits, right? But you will always come across one of those agents that have done it once. 7 months ago, during the hottest day of the year, right? 120 degrees, the fires were going on, and they were door knocking a neighborhood, and it just didn't work, right? Honestly, face-to-face interactions can build rapport faster than other forms of communication, right? No matter what, real estate is and always will be a face-to-face. I don't care what the big tech companies out there say. The big tech companies want to take advantage of you as agents not being face-to-face in front of people. You are boots on the ground. Is that correct, Richard?
I agree with you, Tony.
You're just saying that, right?
No, I'm not.
You guys are there to help people buy and sell their memories. People want to still feel that this is home. This is why they have a hard time also listing, because these are their memories. This is where their kids grew up at. This is where the grandparents have raised their children and have passed the property on to their grandchildren, right? You are all involved in that. Let's solidify our relationship by being face to face. And if we can get face to face, even introducing ourselves to the neighbors in the area, take advantage of that, right? How many of you have actually are marketing in your own neighborhood? Like your own personal, where you live neighborhood? Anybody? Not a single soul. Why not? Don't you go home and you see for sale signs listed by other agents? Doesn't that frustrate you? See, she laughing in there in the back.
2 houses down from my house.
Two houses down from your house, and you go, I know that neighbor. Why didn't they use me?
And everybody loves you.
Not like you enough to trust you with their business, right? Well, we got to get out there and knock that neighborhood. Don't be afraid. Again, we've built these relationships. We're going to build relationships. Now, according to NAR, based on market conditions in the neighborhood, response to door knocking ranges anywhere from 5 to 10%. That means every 100 doors you knock, 5 to 10 people will open the door. Now, I know one big thing that people are afraid of. Not everybody answers the door nicely, right? Anybody ever afraid of somebody not answering the door? Those of you knocking the doors now, have you ever come across the people that are just, why are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Do you get run away?
You mean,
Do you run away from somebody that's that angry answering the door?
not anymore.
Not anymore. You did though, right?
Yeah.
He's a big
Yeah,
guy.
He's a big guy, right?
6'7",
Right. Now, by the way, for every 100 conversion rate, this is the big one. Conversion rate from consistent, that's the key, consistent and effective door knocking ranges anywhere from 1 to 3%. That means out of every 100 doors, you should be getting at least 1 to 3 listings. So statistically, 10 people open their doors, you should be getting at least 1 lead, 1 actual listing. But we have to be consistent. Now, does this cost us a lot of money? No, not at all. Just to walk around the neighborhood, introduce ourselves. We get fresh air in our lungs. We get plenty of vitamin D from the sun, practically almost for free. So those of us working on a tight budget, right? Everybody did their business plan for this year. Part of your business plan is your financial plan. So we all live by a budget, right? So if you're like me and your spouse only gives you $7 for lunch for the entire week, 7-Eleven becomes your friend very quickly, though its prices have gone up. So I got to start thinking about top ramen from now on. But Here, take advantage of the free stuff where you can, when you can. So if you can make at least one lead from 100 doors and get one listing in that neighborhood, are you guys gonna be happy? And gals? Hopefully a little bit, right? All right,
So
good.
Tony, when you say one lead for every 100 doors, how many times are we hitting those same 100 doors?
You have to be consistent. So if you're doing it more than once a month, you're probably gonna have a higher conversion rate. Whereas if you're doing it at least once a month, that means we have to go door knocking at least 12 times a year. Easily. But we've got other things that are gonna also help us be brand and name recognition here in just a few minutes, but we're gonna couple that, right? Because things work together. One thing just doesn't work. If you just did Facebook, it may work for a little while, but after a while, it just peters off. And if you listen to all the coaching experts out there, Mike Ferry, Brian Berthini, Tom Ferry, they all tell you should have at least anywhere from 3 to 5 different pipelines of generating business. Because as one starts to dry up, the others will hopefully kick in. Well, guess what? What are your pipelines of where you're generating your business? Is it only Facebook? Is it only Zillow? Is it only door knocking? Well, if you're only doing, and you're door knocking once a week, right? And that's your only form of marketing, it may work periodically, but you got to do other things, right? So I would say consistently, ideally, depending on how large your neighborhood is, probably at least once a week. Work your way up to that. I'm only asking you to start off at least once a month. Be open to it. By the way, quality of lead is better. Leads are more warm and engaging with an agent that they've actually met and felt a connection with. Is that true, y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably even down the street, somebody just recognized you. Hey, can you come on over? I've seen you constantly.
You actually mentioned in the rain,
Mhm.
I got invited in because I was drenched. So they felt bad for me.
They give you a towel,
No, I don't think they did.
an umbrella at least. But that's good. How many of you would love to be invited into somebody's house to give you a chance to talk to them? And they felt comfortable because they saw you time and time again, right? That's a great story.
Well, they see you working.
They see you
It's another
working.
way. They see you working. So
You're not there just to be the salesman. You're there working the streets, right?
I take my kids with me.
working the streets,
You-
that doesn't sound.
Well, and you take your children with you? Excellent.
But then it's not threatening, you're not selling them something.
Exactly. Some people will take their dogs with them. Others, hey, partner up. Why not? You know, get known in the neighborhood. Welcome, young lady.
Wow, thank you.
So, effective door knocking strategies. So, we're going to demonstrate some effective door knocking techniques that build consumer engagement. Everybody knows Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, maybe. If you're like me, a big nerd, knock, 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 until somebody opens the door. So, when the door is answered, make sure to introduce yourself. Okay. I know sometimes we all get so wrapped up in our heads, right? You are a veteran. Did you ever forget to introduce yourself? From time to time?
No, I always,
Always do. Good. Have
So
you
it's
ever
my
forgot to
business card.
introduce yourself?
I flash my business card.
Okay, you flash your business card. Excellent, like a police officer. I'm a realtor, right? I love that. Some of us, like me, sometimes you get so wrapped up in what you want to say, you forget to introduce yourself. Okay? Don't forget to introduce yourself. By the way, maybe provide a small little gift, like a notepad or a pen, right? People always need something to write with or write on. Give them something, right? It's great that you're going to give them statistical data or neighborhood information, but at the end of the day, give them something like that. Now, I don't know, does Coldwell Banker have marketing material that an agent can purchase, like a pen or
Yes.
something with their name
Yes.
all over it? Good. So I'm assuming what, $1.50 per pen, maybe? So you get 100 pens, that's $15, right? $15 for 100 pens, hand them out. Somebody always needs something to write with. Have them remember you and be top of mind. Your name, company, DRE license number, phone number, email address on a pen. How hard is that? Okay. Now, prepare a concise, friendly script highlighting market insights, neighborhood updates. Of course, we want to talk about those types of things. but some talking points. You want to build a relationship. That's our main key, right? People want to feel warm, connected. When we think about that, we don't necessarily always come at somebody as the salesperson, right? How many of us have always gone shopping before? No one in the room has ever gone shopping. Carlos, excellent. And the person walks up to you and says, welcome to our store today. What are you looking for? What are you looking to buy? What is Carlos going to say to me?
I'm just looking.
I'm just looking, right? Walk away and never ever use me ever again, right? But then all of a sudden, what happens if this gentleman walked up to Carlos? Hey, welcome. How you doing? My name is Anthony. Welcome to our store today. If there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. Is there any particular thing that you're looking for? In our different approach, what's Carlos now going to say? Oh, I'm actually looking for this, or I'm looking for that. I know that it was over here somewhere, but I don't see it now. Oh, I know exactly where it is. Let me help you. Now all of a sudden we've built that relationship, right? So it's a different way of talking to somebody to not feel closed off. By the way, ask them questions to get to know the person. How are you doing? What's going on? Right? By the way, find out what their wants and needs are. Now, this is a big one. This requires us all to listen. Guys, this is a tough one for us, right? Because I'm sure we all have spouses that feel that, or significant others that feel that we don't listen to them, right? I know mine sometimes does. Yeah, see, the guys are shaking their heads, yeah, right? But this is where we need to actually listen. I know sometimes we get in our minds what we want to ask next, and we may miss out on some important details. Like Carlos tells me that maybe he needs to downsize and go to a one-story because his wife just recently fell down the stairs. And he doesn't want to necessarily invest in that automatic chair that brings him and his wife up the stairs, right?
He pushed her, actually.
He pushed her. Excellent.
I could just carry her. up.
You can carry her because if you want to carry her, that's fine. That's between you two. Or maybe this gentleman just got newly married. He's got 2 or 3 kids. He wants a new home on the beach, but in a nice, friendly neighborhood that have really great schools. Those are all wants and needs. Now, in listening and hearing about those wants and needs, we're going to discuss how we can achieve that. Well, with the proper representation, I can hopefully find you a home that's in the areas that you want to be in, right? I've got some things on the MLS right now that maybe we can look at. Let's discuss what your financial situation is, that maybe do you need to sell this house, or can you buy it as, use this home as passive income? Let's discuss those options for you. And then, of course, we'll lead into the stats. If you had to sell, here are what the current stats are. If you don't need to sell, this is what your income could potentially be, right? All of a sudden, we're coming up with conversation to be able to talk with people to all of a sudden feel more confident in our skills. Anybody feel that way? Anybody feel confident in their skills?
Yeah.
2 people? All right, excellent. All right, so now we've got class participation. So those of you who just recently walked in, I've got a nice fun little door knocking script. We're gonna have a little fun today, so I'm gonna call on y'all. Whether you're a door knocker or not, we're gonna have a little fun having conversation. Whether you're a door knocker or not, it's all about the conversation. By the way, Carlos does have a copy of this script today, but we're gonna own it. But basically, we're gonna practice. The more we practice, the better we'll be. As a matter of fact, I know a lot of people go, well, I don't want to sound like a script. Well, you don't need to. The more you practice in what you need to say, the more you're going to own it for yourself. But a lot of us don't know where to begin. This is where we need to have things like sit down with our colleagues here in the office. I love the fact that I see a lot of familiar faces here each and every Tuesday that I come out here, because what we want to do is sit down with each other and build that camaraderie. Maybe I've only got 3 months in the business, but Carlos has got 20 years in the business. This will be a great opportunity. Carlos, can I sit down with you, practice some scripts, and go over objection handling? And maybe you can give me some pointers on how I can handle the conversation a bit better. And maybe Carlos has an opportunity to say something to me, and then when I say something back to him, from my point of view, it's not something he's ever heard of before. So in a way, we're improving each other. Now, what's nice about this is that I know we're all independent contractors, right? The idea here is that a lot of offices feel that agents are out there all independent, right? And they don't feel like they have anybody to go to or work with. But here is the opportunity for us to begin to work together. And what's nice about this is that maybe one day I have a client that I can't service. And if I've built friendships within the office, do you think I can refer somebody some business here? I see one lady going, no. If I referred you a client, would you take a client from me? Maybe,
Say yes.
yeah, don't be shy. And if I give you a client, what are you probably going to give me in return? A referral fee, right? Referral fee. Now, all of a sudden, you've got a client that you can't service. You think you might refer it to me because I've referred you one? Of course. Why? Because I will also give you a referral fee. So in a way, this helps build inter-office relationship. Something that we don't have as much of like we used to. We're working together because if we all can stand together, the stronger we will all be. Does that make sense? Right? I can break the twig very easily, but if I put a bunch of twigs together, it's harder for me to break. So you as an industry, if you all work together, you will be stronger as agents. So with that said, let's have a little fun. I'm going to be the seller. You all are going to be the agent. So I'm going to point to you and I'm not going to have you read the entire script, but own it if you feel like you can own it. Okay, you ready? Ready? She's nervous. I can already tell. Knock, knock, knock. Hello. You can read.
You just surprised me.
I surprised you. Well, that's the whole point.
Okay.
I answered the door. Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Carrie. I'm with the
You don't know what office you're with. That's good. You can improve on that. Coldwell Banker. All right, go on.
And I specialize in helping homeowners in this wonderful neighborhood. Do you have a moment to chat?
Of course I do. What's all this about?
Great, thank you. I'm here because I recently helped a neighbor sell their home at a fantastic price, and I wanted to offer my expertise to other homeowners in this area. I believe this neighborhood has so much potential, and I love to share how I can help you achieve your real estate goal.
That's not too bad, right? Pretty easy. Well, then we're going to have some other things here. I'm going to flip to page 2, and I'm going to come up with a little objection here. Like, let's see here. I'm just going to drop down, and I'm going to say where it says the seller. This sounds good, but you know what? I'm just not sure if it's a good time to sell, young lady.
Why not?
Why not? I don't know. I'm the seller. You got to tell me why is it a good time or is it a good time to sell?
Best time.
Why is it the best time?
Well, interest rate is a little bit higher, but don't know if it's gonna change everything. So you buy right now and pay, and then you have your own home. Good.
Oh, sounds good. But you know what? And I'm going to come here to Mr. Moore. You know what? I've heard that selling a home can be super stressful.
You know, it can be, but that's where I come in. So my goal is to handle all the details for you, from staging your home to managing showings and handling negotiations. I'm here to make the process as smooth and stress-free as possible. Many of my clients have been pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to be with the right support.
There you go. So we now start generating conversation, right? Maybe at that point I'm like, great, this sounds good. You know, I would love to hear more, right? But I don't have any time today. What would you say to that, Carlos?
We could schedule a phone call. I can come by another day next week. How does Monday or Tuesday sound? What's better?
There you go. At what time? I get off at work at 5. Do you have set hours? Do you come after hours? What do you feel like? Right? So all of a sudden we got that, right? So not too bad to handle certain objections.
You know, in regards to timing, I suggest giving 1 or 2 different times. don't leave it open. Say tomorrow at 5 o'clock, Wednesday at 3 o'clock,
There you go.
choose.
Narrow it down, right? That way you make them make a decision,
Yes.
right? Because sellers will keep you on the hook forever, right? Anybody ever feel that way? Same thing with buyers. Unless you actually put a hard deadline to them, they will probably won't make a decision, right? Our job is to help them make that decision. So we're going to give them few choices to pick and choose from. Okay, that's great. Now, what happens? Has anybody, you guys, have you ever come across somebody that was super angry when they answered the door?
Yes.
Yes. Did you handle, how did you handle it?
Well, she threw a flyer at me and then I just walked away.
Okay,
But I know what you mean. Yeah,
did you ever go back to her, find out why she was angry?
I think I came back again just as part of the routine,
Uh-huh.
but I don't remember. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I've run into that.
Okay, so you will run across people that may be angry. I'll give you an example as well. My wife is a real estate agent, and a few years ago, she was door knocking, right? I was there with her kind of across the street, helping her drop off flyers. You know, it was a beautiful day kind of thing, right? But then one of the neighbors or that person, one of those homes opened up the door, the homeowner comes out holding up the flyer, screaming at the top of his lungs while my wife is 4 houses down going, pick up your damn garbage, don't leave it here, and it throws it on the ground and then storms off. Right? Now, me as the husband, my first instinct was I want to go over there and clock the guy, right?
Wow.
But of course, I know this is a professional area. My wife's wanting to work the neighborhood, but she looked mortified. Now, funny enough, she starts to walk back up to the door to pick up the flyer that was trashed on the ground. And funny enough, 2 neighbors walk out, hearing this commotion. Now they were like, is everything okay? You know, things like that, because they saw that my wife was a little shaken up by the person screaming and yelling. But then, you know, in their talking, they go, you know, we have a problem with this neighbor. He tends to go off a lot like that to just people in general. Don't take it personally. Now, during their conversation, she actually ended up getting both those listings.
That's a happy story.
So, you know, things like that, turn those hardships into positive, right? Now, we all also know that sometimes not everybody has a good day, right? Anybody here ever feel like they have a horrible day? Do you ever feel like we sometimes take it out on somebody? Is that one straw that breaks the camel's back and it just snaps, right? Could that have been that reason? Maybe this is a good opportunity in that conflict resolution. I'm so sorry that I upset you today. I didn't mean to, you know, me knocking on a door would get you that angry. I hope that everything's okay. Now, a lot of times when you say something like that to people, they'll kind of snap themselves out of it and realize, wait a minute, it was just somebody knocking on the door. Right? Maybe they'll all of a sudden apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am having a bad day. Oh, what kind of day are you having? Is there something that maybe you just want to hear, you know, have somebody have a friendly ear just to hear? I'm here for you. Now, I know a lot of people go, oh, well, it's none of your business. That's okay. Just know that I just hope that you have a better day. And if you want, I won't come by your house ever again. You know, if this is really what you want. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people will all of a sudden start to strike up. Maybe they'll even apologize. Maybe they will actually open up to you. Right? And before you know it, you're good friends. They may even give you a couple of referrals as a thank you and a sorry. You just never know. So be open to those things, okay? I know it can be scary. All right. By the way, did anybody like having a conversation just a little bit? Hopefully, right? I know I freaked you out, right? But let's practice. The more we practice, the more comfortable we'll be. All right, crafting up compelling mail marketing campaigns. We're going to create mail marketing material that's effective. Is it effective? Speaking of which, is it effective? Consistent direct mailings achieve 4.4 response rate. So every 100 flyers or 100 postcards or whatever, we should get a response of about 4% out of 100 people. not too bad. If we're coupling that with getting 5 to 10% of open doors, this is going to be huge for us because we're working together, right? When it comes to mail marketing, precision targeted marketing is crucial. Segment mailing lists based on demographics, location, other relevant criteria will increase that likelihood of engagement. So again, when you do those neighborhood stats and you see the absentee owner versus ownership, or the renters versus owners, and you see that 37% in that neighborhood are renters, narrow down their names, get their names, and then all of a sudden start to send them specific things that they would be interested in. Just like maybe you hone down the demographic of people who have owned their home for 20 or more years. Your talking points will be vastly different for them, both physically in front of them as well as their mail marketing. You'll be amazed how much more, if you all of a sudden spend a few extra minutes tailoring mail marketing material to specific needs, how better your responses will be. Okay? By the way, personalized mailings tend to perform also better. This is where the handwritten letter. Anybody here ever receive a handwritten letter? A couple of us recently. How did it make you feel?
As if they took interest in me.
Took interest in you, right? Should we take interest in the people? Of course. Use that recipient's name, personalize the message based on their interests and or previous interactions. So maybe you met them at an open house. Write them a letter. Now, how many of you have actually forgotten to actually write? We're so used to typing and texting that we forget to actually write our letters or script writing. Right? A few weeks ago, I had an agent say, you know what? It's true. I'm actually happy that my son is actually learning cursive in the 3rd grade because now I get to practice cursive because I forgot how to write a J and an F in cursive. Right? And anybody here write a letter recently? Anybody write in a journal? Oh, you did. Good. Did you get the arm cramp from writing?
Yeah.
Right?
It's very hard.
Very hard.
I mean, much easier.
Much easier because we're used to it, right? The muscles are different. And of course, when we write, we are using different muscles. And of course, it was what, the 2nd or 3rd sentence in your page-long letter that you got that cramp and you kept doing this? Yeah. Let's practice it a little bit more. Let's not lose that art. But here, if we can all of a sudden personalize things, make people have what I like to call the WAFs, the warm and fuzzies, we'll hopefully convert the lead a little bit better, right? Make those relationships. By the way, include compelling content that addresses the recipient's needs and interests. Most importantly, have a call to action. No matter what you're doing, give them something to do. Give me a call, shoot me an email for more information. Do this, right? Whether it's social media or posted postcards, whatever, give them a reason to give you a call. We're going to use a little reverse psychology. You know, everybody used to say, buy the cow, don't get just the glass of milk, right? Well, in this case, in real estate, don't give them the cow, only give them the glass of milk. Keep them thirsty for more. 3 steps to list, 3 things you need to do in order to list your home. For steps 4, 5, and 6, give me a call or shoot me an email. When they call you, hey, or shoot you an email, I've done parts 1, 2, and 3. What else do I need to do? Guess what? Let me come by your home and take a look at what you've done. Because maybe it's enough that you don't have to do steps 4, 5, and 6.
Is there a 4, 5, and 6?
There could be. Right? It's great that you did this, this, and this, but you also need to do this, this, and this, because if you want top dollar, your home's going to need that.
That is one of those things where I have a buyer for your home, but you don't really have a buyer.
We all know that homes always need work. How much work does it need in order to get top dollar? Right? Great opportunity for us to go in, evaluate, talk. If I can sit there and say, all right, you got to clean up the clutter, right? Maybe, you know, what would be another 3rd thing? Declutter, clean.
Paint, carpet.
All right, Clean the carpet. Right? What would now be step 4? Oh, well, you got some dry rot. We can look at that if it's better to get it fixed now or wait till the time of sale and maybe give a credit. Right? Is it something that might be vital? Oh, you know what? You got a big old crack in your foundation. Let's take a look at that and see what needs to be done. By the way, I've got a listing agreement that I have a bunch of inspectors that can maybe help put this together to get you going. Right? Give them an excuse. Right? To want more. By the way, consistency is the major key. Just like door knocking, mail marketing can build brand awareness and trust over time. Consider sending mailings at regular intervals to stay top of mind. If you do it once, don't expect it to work. By the way, measure those campaigns. Use things like unique phone numbers like Google Voice. Everybody with a Gmail account has a Google Voice number. You can get your cell phone number routed to it, and you can start tracking analytics from it. By the way, if you're using things like QR codes for your newsletters or your website or whatever, track that. Track the open rate, the click-through rate, everything. I do believe, Mr. Moore, do you all have a CRM that's
Yes.
open?
Yes.
What is that one?
It's through Coldwell Banker. It's called Moxie.
Moxie, right? Moxie Pro, right?
Moxie Engage.
Moxie Engage. And does that have AI?
I don't.
Or it's working, I think they're working on it, right? The last time I heard.
I'm gonna say yes.
So even with your mail marketing campaigns and your newsletters through your CRM, you should be able to track the open click-through rates. What articles they looked at, what videos they clicked on in that newsletter that you're sending out weekly or monthly. Track that information to see what's being looked at and start producing more of it. And like in our AI class, young lady, we start developing content through the AI to make the content that actually gets looked at. Right? So, and if we have to, we'll have another class on that. By the way, don't forget, be sure to comply with your local, state, and federal law and regulations regarding the direct mail, including opt-out options for recipients who do not want to participate or receive your communication. Basically, the unsubscribe. Double check your do not call, do not solicit lists. Right? Last thing we want to do is get in trouble. Huge fines for that. By the way, design informative material. All of these things here are easily downloadable from CAR. Excuse me, RPR, Canva, Reela, everything.
RPR
And-
newsletters?
NPR,
RPR does newsletters.
but they have, you can customize yourself,
Yep,
really?
yep, which I'll show you in the next class. That's why that's part 2. By the way, all these other personalized postcards, right? From Canva to Reela to RPR to CAR, you've got a plethora of tools on top of what Coldwell Banker offers you. This is why you're a Coldwell Banker agent. You have so many things available to you, you should be using them. It makes your marketing lives that much easier. With that said, thank you. I'm done. Any questions? Anybody door knocking today? No. All right. There you go. And I'm just going to unshare the screen, and it looks like Ed Molina is
Okay.
here. So I'm going to stop my share.
Is there a 10-minute break? or-
Because this is a 3-hour class, I have breaks in between. So when I get to that, we're done. Here you go, Ed.
Ed, how are you? Nice to see you. It's been a while.
Long time.
This is Ed Molina. He's president of Orange County Association of Realtors. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you
Ed.
very much. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry I'm late, but I figured you had the best part of the show with Tony.
It was good, Tony. It was
Thank
very
you.
good. Yes.
Tony, we're very blessed. to
I
have
had a
Tony.
question.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we did
Oh.
okay.
What is it?
Sorry.
This is, I wanted to find out, when did the MLS start incorporating Zillow coming soon into, going on to, like from MLS feeding onto Zillow as coming soon?
She said that Zillow is now showing coming soon listings.
Okay.
And with that in mind, is Zillow now going to be showing days on market, whereas MLS will not display days on market if it's a coming soon listing?
That is a good question for Zillow. I think Zillow does, no matter what, show how long the property's been marketed. So they may or may not count that. I don't know. That's not something CRMLS would count, but Zillow may. I would say it would be the independent website at that point.
Was
Yeah,
that
because
Sweden?
yeah, but I was looking into some other older coming soon listings on the MLS today, and I saw quite a few of them did not show up on Zillow. And yesterday I looked into Holden and that showed up on Zillow. So I was wondering, was there a recent change? Because some coming soon listings are showing up and some are not showing up.
I would imagine that it might be a recent change. I wouldn't
Oh.
know why Zillow would display some and not others.
Yeah, that's what I was looking up addresses from the MLS and some coming soon. Like most of the old coming soons did not show up.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
they just haven't implemented all that older data just yet, especially if it's recent.
Oh, okay. But this is something that MLS would not know. I would have to find out from Zillow.
Correct.
Okay.
But it
All right.
seems to me, because if you have an IDX search site, you
Mhm.
can actually view coming soon listings anyways. And
Exactly.
Zillow is a broker just like anyone else, so it's not.
I don't know how they get the data directly. I don't know if it's through the IDX feed or if it's a direct data upload. I think it was a direct data upload. And Zillow chose not to take coming soon at one
I
point.
see. So maybe it's just a change in their stance.
It could be. Yeah, as for them
Because that was not
counting,
true before.
right.
That is just recent that it's happening.
And as for them counting days on market, I don't know, Zillow figured, yeah, I don't know what their particular rules are for counting days on market. I would imagine anything that's active or being marketed would be counted. So that would be my question, but yeah, I would find out from Zillow directly.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Brian, a little question. When you put a listing in the MLS and it goes all of the web pages, including Zillow, and when you do the correction or more information in the list and you could submit,
It takes time.
it takes time for them to change everything.
Yes.
So,
Hours.
Because,
Hours, sometimes days, depending on the
because
website.
one of the things that I noticed is one of the listings that I have, it went down like a third page in Zillow, 3 days after I put it on. And then I put open house and it came back to the first one.
That's the way their algorithm is. That's what they've done.
But
Yeah.
it takes the open house from the MLS, isn't it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So something was majorly changed to elevate it to the top of their list. So Zillow's always going to display the open houses at the top and then everything else filters down. So new listings, then actives, then whatever else. So yeah, if I knew that, I'd be working at Zillow. I don't think you all want me to work at Zillow.
No, no.
You're not leaving.
All right, Ed, I'll let you take it away. sir.
So cameras.
Right here? Oh,
Perfect.
Right
but
there.
it's locked into somebody.
Well,
It's
good
on the
morning,
subject, it's on
everyone.
me.
Again, my name is Ed Molina. I'm your president. And thank you, Richard. I've known Richard for many years and you're so lucky to have him as your manager. We have served on professional standard hearings
Yeah.
and my gosh, what a great resource. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that.
Anyway, just, I'm gonna bounce around a little bit, so it's, I don't want to bore you with details. I want to provide a little bit of value with, to you today. First of all, I want to make sure that you signed up for the March 27th annual meeting. You must go to the YOCAR website and sign up. It's going to be the 27th Lake Forest Community Center. And there will be breakfast there. I think it's 9 to 12, whatever it is. So please sign up. You can network, take your friends, take your office. It will be sold out. It's usually about 400 people. We've been having it the last few years at UCI. So we changed venue, but please take a moment and check it out. We'll have Oscar Way from our NER economist. We will have Guff Hutchinson, who you've probably already heard many times, always has value. And our treasurer, Eileen Oldroyd, giving us our position of where we are financially, which we're doing really well. I'm just going to share a few thoughts here. And then when I'm going to leave this with you, Richard, if it's okay, it's just some websites and things, it's a summary of, for example, ner.realtor or fax.realtor. Everyone's heard of that? Yes? Fax.realtor? I'm sure. If Richard's your manager, you've heard of it. So anyway, it's just a little cheat sheet I put together. And there's things about CAR, Smart Zone, anything that is related to anything, and I'm not talking about any our settlement, I promise you. But any type of scripts that you might want to have and share with your seller or buyer is already rewritten. I mean, it's written for you. So it's just go to the website. Oh, seller, boom, one pager. Buyer, boom. Insurance, one pager, boom. It's a great resource for you to tap on. So I invite you to look at that. And I think Sandra talked to you about license renewal. One thing I want to share with you as well, some of you may know this or not, but you know, for what we pay for dues, and I know a lot of you think we pay a lot, but honestly, we get a lot. If you talk to your other associations around, and I'm not here to discredit anyone. I'll take one for example, the OC Tech line. Has anybody ever used that? You have a problem with your laptop, your computer, it's a free service. It's a free service to you that you're paying for. So I'm going to have this on this OC Tech line. There's a phone number there, and they will troubleshoot your problem. I hadn't used them until about a month ago. I had a brand new laptop, well, brand new about a year ago, and I go, oh my gosh, I didn't renew my Norton or whatever, and I've been hacked. No, it was a spam. I was a little bit concerned. Went on there within 5 minutes, fixed, free of charge. So again, that's just one nugget I want to leave with you. Here's phone numbers about CRMLS, CR hotline, Supra. I actually have a couple emails that you have an issue regarding anything. I want to hear it. We want to hear it. We are here. I am here to serve members. I'm not here to recruit, poach, criticize. I'm here. The board of directors are here. The association is here to represent you. We have something called a realtor party. What does that mean? Realtor party means we're not blue, we're not red, we're purple. So we're going to make decisions as a board for the membership. Okay, it doesn't matter if I'm a Democrat, Republican, and I'm not going to share what I am, but we will always make a decision that's best for our membership. And we have over 15,000 members, and we are the largest in the state of California. So I have a couple emails, or if you want to email any comments, complaints, opportunities, I will say. I'm just going to leave it for Richard, and you can post it or make copies for you if you like. Our theme for this year is education, communication, and collaboration. Part of what we're doing today is going out to different brokerages throughout the year and just share a few thoughts. It's not in any way to conflict with what your broker says what you must do, because that's what takes precedence. We are here as a vehicle, a friendly member to providing you tools, many of which you have the expert of the tools, Tony, and I've known Tony for many, many years, and you don't find anyone better than him, and he's a great resource. And plus you can go to his YouTube, and there's a topic that you have a question on, it's there in the YouTube channel. Questions so far? Anybody real quick? Okay. So anyway, part of the theme is what I just said, bless you, is making sure that we work together. And Tony tapped on, I think it was Richard, a question about us talking to a seller. And of course, Richard was ready to answer that question. And we've heard the term value proposition. That's exactly what happens, that you're in the store and I'm standing next to Richard, and I'm just a citizen, you know, member of the public. Hey, sir, I see you have a realtor badge, cool banker. How's the market? And I know he's going to give us a great answer. And then be prepared. And if you don't have a value proposition, maybe you are new to the business, you can go to the NAR or CAR website. There's 150 already written for you that you can cherry pick from. So again, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's many things that are available. And again, many of you have been working for many years. You know what your value proposition is. This kind of market that we're in, we have to be ready. We have to be ready. Before I leave, I just want to share a couple tidbits, if you don't mind, with your indulgence. We attended the CAR directors meeting, the winter meeting, a couple of weeks ago in Indian Wells as president and state director and an NAR director. So there's about 700 of us that meet. And we're on committees, we're going to meetings, we vote. So I just want to share a couple points, if that's okay, Richard. I have a couple minutes.
Absolutely.
And I might read some of these because again, it's just easier sometimes. DRE. The commissioner confirmed that rent gouging laws on rental properties from wildlife-related executive orders apply statewide, and that members of the public and or agents who attempted price gouge or act as predatory buyers will not be tolerated. So again, none of you do that because you have a great manager and he's told you what we need to do. And these wildfires were unfortunate. We want to make sure that if our seller says, hey, I know it's for $5 a month, but can we list it for 50,000 a month? You know, what do we do? That's our client. What do we do? We have the option to say, I don't want to lose my license. I don't want to be investigated by the DRE or the Attorney General. So we have options, okay? AB 2992. And this is one that you're familiar with. It says the DRE also discussed enforcement of AB 2992, which deals with that wonderful BRBC. The commissioner of the DRA, Ms. Sundquist, said in our risk management committee meeting, she says, we are enforcing that. How they're going to do that? Are they going to pop into an open house? Can I see your BRBC with your? So again, I don't need to preach because I know Richard has guided you through this, but again,
It's good to hear that, because unfortunately, if they're gonna be enforcing it, they're gonna make an example out of somebody.
and they already have. They already have, just as they have made examples of people for price gouging. And, you know, sometimes like I was saying earlier, you know, we want that business, but where do we draw the line with either that code of ethics or just, you know, the right decision? You know, what would Richard tell me to do? What would he say in the meeting if I asked him that? Should I do that or not? So again, this makes you think business is important for us to get that business, but we have the opportunity to say, I can't do that. Okay, so anyway, I'm not here to preach, but you're in so good hands. I'm so happy that you're here with Richard. Let's see, anything else? Some of you have already heard about this lithium battery plant that they've been wanting to put down San Juan Campus, Toronto. One of our committees in OCAR, we started months ago writing letters to the CEC of the state and said, hey, this is not good. I mean, there's been many fires throughout the state. One that was just put out in Moss Point in Monterey, which they evacuated thousands of people. It lasted a couple of weeks. They're finding all these health and safety issues in the city and the area. So we took that issue to CAR and we now support it, which is AB 303 that you may or may not have heard about it. So if it comes to a vote, if it comes down this way, if that passes, then that will put a halt to companies being able to just arbitrarily bypass the state, and it would go into local control. So again, it's an important thing. There's some that burned in San Diego. So it is an issue, but I just want to bring that to your attention. And by the way, well, I shouldn't say how many. All of you know where the OC LAD, local area disclosure is. It's resident in the zip forms. When you pull that, it has been updated to reflect that particular issue. It's, I think, page 4 of 7 on the LAD. So again, if someone asks, you know, hey, is there any lithium? You know, there's a disclaimer, there's a commentary on there. So a lot of information that's available for you. I think that's probably all I want to share with you. But again, the message today is we're here to represent you all. And if there's issues, complaints, we want to hear about it, because if we don't know about it, we won't know, we can't address it or resolve it. So any questions before I leave?
Any questions? No? All right, Ed, thank you.
I want
very
to
much.
thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
We have all cars Avengers here.
And this is for you. Thank you, Richard.
Oh, and what's this one?
for you.
Oh, isn't that nice? I'm gonna raffle this off.
It's a trip to Europe. I think.
Is it? Well, someone can go with me. We haven't collected any business cards yet, have we?
Nope.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
You
great
leaving now?
day.
All right, Tony, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll
Sandra?
break down here.
So many years now. It's been a while, yeah, I know.
Keep on knocking.
Okay. Good luck with that.